morning. Today I just want to share a brief word with you from Acts chapter 12. And it's just about this thing about Christianity when we meet Jesus. And I think that's one of the things that is important we understand is that when we meet Jesus, it's not so much about what we know. Okay, the Bible talks about that my people perish because of lack of knowledge. And that verse actually, if you read it in the amplified version of it actually says that my people get destroyed because of the lack of redeeming knowledge of Christ. This is in the book of Proverbs. And so in the world, someone once said to me, it's not about what you know, but about who you know that makes the difference. And you can definitely say that this is what it is about with Jesus, because of one of the things that we understand is that in our society, we believe that we can be taught everything. We can be taught to be healed, we can be taught to do this and taught to do that. And to a certain extent, that is true. But no matter how much we theoretically learn things, we also have to understand and learn how to do things. Okay, because the knowledge we have, if we don't do it, it won't benefit us. And one of the signs of meeting Jesus is not that suddenly now I can quote a lot of Bible verses. I know what the Bible say about this and what the Bible say about that. These things are all good, okay? But the main thing by having met Jesus is that there's a transformation that happens, okay? That we become new creations. And in Acts chapter 12, there's this interesting story, passage where when the persecution starts in against the early church, and James has been beheaded, and later on Peter got arrested, and he's in prison, and the next day he's also going to be beheaded. And in Acts chapter 12 and verse, let me see what's the verse here, verse 6, yeah, it says, the night before Herod was to bring him to trial, Peter was sleeping between two soldiers, bound with two chains, and sentries stood guard at the entrance. Suddenly an angel of the Lord appeared, and a light shone in the cell. He struck Peter on the side and woke him up. Quick, get up, he said, and the chains fell off Peter's wrist. Now what I find interesting in this passage is that this is the same Peter who, when every time he came into a tight spot while he was walking with Jesus, when he was under pressure, he always lashed out. He was the one who cut the ear of one of the guards who came to arrest Jesus. Peter was the one who always spoke before he was thinking. And now, after the resurrection of Christ, after Jesus have asked him, Peter, do you love me? We can see a completely transformation in the character of Peter. That now, when he was under pressure, he reacted exactly like how Jesus reacted. No, he was sleeping, and for me, it brings back the memory of when we were in the boat and there was a storm, and Jesus was just sleeping in the middle of a storm. Here, Peter, he knew this was going to be his last night, and next morning he was going to be beheaded. And yet, Peter was not in fear, he was not in panic, he was at peace because he knew that he was in the hands of Jesus. And for me, that was a complete transformation of who the old Peter was. And I put that down to it's because he has been with Jesus. And what I'm always saying to people is that when you walk with Jesus, there will always be a transformation. Okay, not the transformation in what you know, but in transformation of who you are. That's what it means when the Bible talks about that we are new creations in Christ Jesus. Bless you.